Anyone, before I get to the back row, is there anyone that is boycotting watching the NFL season this year or last year? No boycotters?
My father.
Okay. Your father? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't watch? Yeah. Okay. All right. So who is your team, is Johnny?
Philadelphia Eagles.
The Eagles? Okay. Do you have a team? The Eagles? How about you?
I don't have a team.
You don't?
If I do make it there, then it'd be sad if I didn't make it to the team that I wanted to be on. So.
Okay. Do you watch the NFL?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you ladies in the back, and we'll start over here to the right, do you have any feelings about Nike, the ad? Have you seen the ad, first of all, with Colin Kaepernick?
No, but I've seen like pictures of the posters and stuff.
Okay. Are your friends in school talking about it? Is that or is that a non-factor in your school?
I haven't heard about it, but I think that we have this project, we will get into that because it's about learning about what we're doing around York and out of York and stuff.
Okay.
So my thing about kneeling is I think that we have opinion to do what we want and protest whatever we think that we should. Like in school I don't even put my hand on my chest no more. And we actually are told to stand out. We're not allowed to sit down or kneel. If we do that, we're going to get in trouble. But I don't put my hand on my chest because I don't. Like right now, I don't feel like I should.
What helps you what influenced you to not place your hand on your chest? Was it more of what Donald Trump said or more of Colin Kaepernick's actions?
Well, honestly, I recently just heard about that with my mom and stuff. And most of it's about Donald Trump because what he's saying is just not okay. So
okay.
Do that.
Okay. Jasmine, tell us about, you recently, or last school year, wrote a paper, I believe, regarding freedom of speech or Colin Kaepernick and his choice to kneel. Also, I believe Black Lives Matter. Tell us a little bit about your paper and why did you write it?
So for my school, we had a capstone project where we had to write a paper on something we believed in. And what I believe in is equality of races. So I wrote a paper on kneeling in the NFL and Black Lives Matter. And I believe that all people should be equal, even though they're not. And a lot of people overlook that Black people are put under on a day-to-day basis and systematically oppressed. And with kneeling, I believe that what Kaepernick did was right, and what them taking him out of the NFL just for him making a statement for what was right was completely wrong and shouldn't have been done. And I think that Trump shouldn't have any say in what goes on in the NFL because the last time I checked, he runs our country, not our football teams. And like in school, when we do the Pledge of Allegiance, I don't put my right hand over my heart, I put my left and I mouth the words. Because the words that we say, they're not true. With equality, and it's not one nation for all. Our nation is divided, and until our nation is put together again, I won't stand for our flag.
Okay. Nyla, do you ever believe this nation was together at all?
We stand together on certain broad general ideas, but none of us are concrete on things about race, even though we've had the Civil War and that was over 100 years ago. But I believe that peaceful protest is not synonymous with disrespecting your country. The media turned Colin Kaepernick's campaign, which was supposed to point out the injustice African Americans face in the criminal justice system, into something that was purposely designed to disrespect veterans, and it was not. There's no law requiring you to stand for the national anthem, and even if he doesn't stand, that doesn't mean he's disrespecting the country. It means he's bringing attention to the problems that we still face that we won't acknowledge.
Do you have any thoughts on Colin Kaepernick, and do you follow your sister's lead and not putting your hand on your heart during the Pledge of Allegiance?
I respect Nike for standing up for him, Colin Kaepernick, because when everybody else didn't, they did. Even with the boycotting around, they're still standing high and mighty for him. And I do not put my hand on my chest because we're not perfect, and we need to fix that because it's just changing us. It's like not right anymore.
Awesome. You guys have been really awesome today. We're just going to kind of wrap this up and just give some final thoughts, final feelings about things, maybe experiences that you didn't have the opportunity to express earlier in the segment. And this is your opportunity to share with the audience some of what those things might be. Stephen, why don't we start with you?
I guess I want to talk about my school and how they have yet to get to let all the students know what their grades are and stuff. They said that they're gonna get Sapphire set up, but still have yet to do it. And some of the students in the school are student athletes like I am, and we really need them to focus on that type of stuff so that we can know what so we can know what we have to get in. So like if we're failing a certain class, we know what papers we have to do or what type of stuff we got to do to start passing in that class. Because our school is like, if you have 75% is failing and anything above that is passing. So it's very, very hard and rigorous classes and stuff. So we kind of need that.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna go off with Steven and just talk about my school a little bit, and maybe some adults in general. My school this past year, I tried to do a diversity day, and we had two committees working on it. We had a committee for middle school and a committee for high school, which I was a part of. And not that it was a mess or bad, but there was no good outcome. I think it could have possibly been because we never figured out what outcome we truly wanted. But there was students who didn't show up that day because they knew about it prior and they wanted nothing to do with it, so they wouldn't show up. Or we had problems that came up during discussions, and still I remember a student had said after we grouped into discussions later on in the day that there was racism and none of the teachers do anything about it at school. And not racisms with the teachers, but between students and just things that they say to each other. And we're a very small school, and she said it, and still nothing was done. We were told something was going to be done, but nothing was done. And we're always told during assemblies and during classes how we have a voice and we have to do something with it, but when we try to do something with it, nothing's done. So it's kind of like, what's the point in trying?
Like Stephen, what she said, I want to talk about like how my school, the equality problems and how they're manipulating. Like at my school, me and Stephen are both student athletes. So like we have dates that we gotta have our grades in, but then me and Stephen will be asking for Monday, and our grades gotta be due on Friday, and they won't tell us what our grades is until Friday, and then they'll try to get smart with you or tell your mom you're just failing and stuff and you're not turning your work, but when in reality the whole time you've been asking, trying to get your stuff right. And like my school and my principal, he had on the documents. He had the control he had the control for us to play, even though if we were passing or not, he could say it if we're not, and he could send it to the DA. But like when Miss Sherry started, my mentor, it's like for a place for young black athletes to come do their work and stuff. So the school has no option to let us go.
Miss Sherry sounds like the bomb, don't she? Well, kids don't use the bomb no more. She's lit.
She's a goat.
She's a goat. Greatest of all time. All right.
Our school is very strict on dress codes and stuff. And when some of us are not following dress code, I feel like only color kids are picked out of what they should wear, and some other kids are not picked out just because of their color. Some of them might have different color shoes, but they're allowed to wear them. But if we have them, we're in trouble for it.
You don't have to adhere to the stereotypes society tries to pressure you into. I was once called the whitest black person I know by someone I know, and it was very hurtful because I don't know why. First of all, it's not something you ever say to someone. And I got to thinking, and I think it's because there's a stereotype around young black kids that they're not intelligent, that they can't enunciate their words, that they don't use proper grammar, that they're always trying to fight, that you always have to be hood or gangster, and that's not something you need to do to succeed in life or to gain respect. You don't need to start fights, and you don't need to cause a scene or yell, and that's not at all what any of us do on a regular basis. There are a lot of kids that do that, but there are a lot of kids that don't, and to stereotype us all into one grouping that all African Americans are loud and aggressive, that's not helpful for us, and it's hard for us to achieve success and get jobs like with that sort of thinking. I've been rejected for jobs when I go in for interviews, and a lot of times I have to wonder, is it because the 3 other people in line behind me are white girls, or is it because they just don't want me for the job?
At my school, there's a lot of where the type of music I listen to a lot of rap, so I get judged for the type of music I listen to, and sometimes I'm like told I'm too black, which doesn't make sense, just because I speak my mind and I know how to have a voice. So
in my school, sometimes we'll have like boys get 8 games of basketball and we'll get only 2, and I think it's like kind of unfair, like when you try out, because you don't get as much as boys get, or you get treated differently because you're a girl and boys think you're weaker and they're stronger than you just because, I don't know, they get more challenges than we do.
Some of that gender bias going on, huh? You all are exceptional. I really listened intently with what you had to say, your thoughts and your feelings. I know our audience is just going to be, first of all, floored with how you all are able to articulate such intense feelings and in such intense experiences, and to a place where we can really understand where you're coming from. I really appreciate you lending your time with me today on such heavy topics. You guys are very deep thinkers, but I do appreciate your time that in the way that you opened up today. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Do not be a stranger to Black Perspectives with Lady T. Have a good day. Wave bye.
Good job, Sharon.
Man, you guys were all that.
I don't think I could have done that well.
You guys are all that. Very impressive.
Nobody was stuttering. Your thoughts were clear and concise.
Now they need to treat y'all to some ice cream to kind of lift up the mood, right?